What was the Ottoman Empire? So the Ottoman Empire was an Islamic empire. It lasted 600 years, approximately from 1300 to 1900, and it was one of the most important non-Western empires. And they were very unique in that they extended from medieval times to the modern times, and it was a vast empire, very multicultural and very multilingual. We had Turks, we had Arabs, Greeks, Armenians, Jews, and others. And the Ottomans, they were a tolerant and respectful empire, respectful of other religions, and Islamic law required them to respect people of the book, Christians and Jews. So the Ottomans were not after mass conversions to Islam. They actually preferred tax-paying subjects. If you paid your head tax, your jizya, and you accepted the authority of the Sultan, you had freedom to practice your religion. The empire was founded in 1300 by Osman I. He and his followers were called Osmanlılar, or as we call them today, the Ottomans. And they were Turkoman nomads, starting in Central Asia, pushing westward. They were Ghazi warriors who were spreading Islam, plundering and raiding in a westwardly direction. They settled in Anatolia, and they're one of the principalities in Anatolia of that time. And Osman and Orhan really start what becomes a massive and vast empire. Their early beginnings in Anatolia, they move. The next city is Bursa, followed by Edirne, and then into the Balkans. Osman and his son Orhan, as warriors, they had bravery, strong leadership, and very heroic. And they were constantly, their success attracted others to their banner. And this culture of brave sultan passes down to the early sultans of the Ottoman period. And the sultan was the absolute ruler in the Ottoman Empire. He resided in Topkapı Palace. Topkapı Palace was his home, but also the center of power of the Ottoman Empire, and also the place where the Ottoman government operated. The height of the Ottoman Empire was the mid-1600s, which is called the Classical period, and it reached its peak under Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent, and he was given the name Magnificent by Henry VIII in Britain. And Süleyman the Magnificent was really a Renaissance man. He was magnificent in his sultanic role, but also his court and his empire. And it was a great time of wealth and prosperity for the empire, and it was vast. We have Asia, we have Anatolia, and far into Europe. By the mid-1600s, there is a downward trajectory. There are military defeats, there's debt, there's corruption in the empire. Some sultans attempt reforms, the famous Tanzimat reforms, but they're ineffective. They don't make a difference. Turkey or Ottomans enter World War I with Germany, and we know how World War I ended. The Ottoman Empire was partitioned among the European powers, and things were not looking too good. But they made a comeback. They rose from the ashes. There was a Turkish war of independence, and the European powers recognized the new Republic of Turkey. So the Sultanate is abolished in 1922, and the Republic of Turkey is established in 1923.